One of the best things to do while visiting Turku with kids is to go on an overnight cruise. Well, technically it's a ferry. The evening departure ferry takes you from Turku to Mariehamn and then Stockholm and returns to Turku the same way, all within a span of 23 hours. Today we will take you along with us as we embark on the Silja Baltic Princess line on this exact route. When choosing to do the overnight cruise, there is no disembarkment at any of the other locations other than the one where you started from. Of course, there's also the option to get off either at Mariehamn or Stockholm. You just have to make sure you purchase the correct ticket. Alright, so let's give you a quick tour of our cabin or our room. So we just came in from the front door here, and there's some storage space here along with 2 ladders. And this is what the other side of the room looks like. There are 4 beds here, and all of these will lay flat. Those 2 ladders are for the top bunks. There's a small vanity area here. And I think the towels are in here. I think I see it hidden there. We have a TV, some more storage space, and then this is our personal restroom. So you take a shower in here as well. You close the curtain that way, and there's a drain in the floor. And a big squeegee for the floor, of course. Very simple and straightforward little bathroom. There's also an option to get an allergy-free room. You just won't have carpeting, and then also the upholstery for the couch and the little stool are made of like a plastic material so that they can quickly sanitize it. Oh, there's a little light up here. But yeah, this is our room for the night. Oh, and I think there's also one down here as well. The water is very smooth today. Can you even... No, I think you just see the dust in the window. All right, well, maybe I'll try to go outside and get some footage. So it was super affordable for a family of 4. I think we only spent a little bit over 80 euros for this room and this whole trip. Of course, we'll be spending money on food and drinks and stuff like that, but it's a really affordable way to travel with your kids and not have to think about too much because you're just on a ship. You go to Stockholm and then you come back without disembarking. It's the next day now. We slept okay. The kids slept much better than the grown-ups. We ended up each taking one of the bunk beds here. We called the front desk and somebody came to deliver these bed guards so that the kids don't roll off the bed. This is what it looks like. It's just a piece of board that they kind of wedge in between the side of the bed and the mattress. So my husband slept up there. This was down, of course. I slept here. My daughter, who is 2.5, slept here, and my son, who is 5, slept up there. And he has so much fun sleeping on the top bunk. He kept saying he was a firefighter when he came up and down the ladder. So here's a view out the window. We are arriving at Mariehamn in about half an hour. If you're not familiar with these ferries, it goes between Turku and Mariehamn and Stockholm and Mariehamn and back to Turku. We took the overnight trip, so this trip lasts about 23 hours. We left Turku around 8:20, 8:15 p.m. and then we'll be going back to Turku around 7. We had a hiccup this morning with the breakfast situation and I was super hangry. It could be a bit confusing on these ferries because Stockholm is an hour behind Turku. So whenever they're announcing things or you're trying to go to different things on the ship, you have to make sure you know which time they're referring to. So the clocks throughout the ship will have a little Finnish flag or a Swedish flag on top of it showing which time it's showing. It's confusing because you're on the water and you don't really know where you are at the exact moment. So we didn't make it for breakfast because in the morning we were still in Swedish water, so we were going by Swedish time. Except the restaurant was going by Finnish time, so we missed the breakfast. They also have a full day of children's programs, and you just have to make sure you know which time you're following. So we came on board on Sunday evening. It's Monday now, and the reason why we're on an overnight ferry from Sunday to Monday is because there is a popular kids band that's going to be performing on the ship later this afternoon. The band is called Hevisaurus, and there's a really big heavy metal scene here in Finland, and Hevisaurus is a band made of 5 dinosaurs, and they play heavy music for kids. They're super popular in Finland and we went to one of their concerts over the summer. They actually play really high quality music for kids. When we went to the concert in the summer, I thought that it was just going to be people in costumes dancing around to pre-recorded music, but no, they're actually playing live. The lead singer, Mr. Hevisaurus, he is singing live. You can tell because he talks to the audience in between songs, and he wears these like dino gloves. But the other 4 band members, who are also dinosaurs, they have fingerless gloves on because they're actually playing the instrument. So I think there's one keyboard player who's a girl. Her name is Millipilli, that's all I know. And then there are 2 other dinosaurs that play the guitar and then one on the drums. So it's super popular with kids, and there are a ton of kids on the ship right now. We just got back from the Hevisaurus concert. It was actually really good. Their songs are so catchy. So while we were at the concert, some cleaners came in and started cleaning the room already. They already made up the beds. Let me show you. So I think the towels and the sheets have been changed, so we're not going to touch any of that. We're going to go ahead and pack and chat a little bit about this trip. The last time we went on a ferry, we went on the Viking Grace, and we booked a really fancy suite just because it was my first time on a ferry and I really wanted to experience the luxury room. But this time we booked a very simple room. It's just 4 beds and with a window. So there are a lot of rooms on this ship that also don't have windows. So it's nice that we have a window. Our neighbor across the hall, so everything on the other side of the hall does not have windows, and they kept their door open like almost the entire night and also really early in the morning. So maybe they were feeling a little claustrophobic. But this cabin has a very simple bathroom. It's very small, but you get your very own bathroom. And at first I felt a little bit grossed out about taking a shower in here because the bottom of the curtain is really dirty. You can just tell it's like orange. So I was contemplating a little bit last night whether I should take a shower. But our kids took a shower here, my husband took a shower, and I took a shower and everything was fine. They have the same hardware here for the shower, the same as our bathroom, so it just felt a little bit more at home. And the water pressure was good, the temperature was fine, so it was all good. And this floor squeegee is just, it's so satisfying to squeegee the floor after you take a shower. During our tour yesterday, sorry about all the stuff. I didn't see this yesterday, but there's also a bottle opener that's attached to the to the side of this vanity here. So I guess a lot of people come and drink on this cruise. ferry trip. Okay, let's get unpacking. About that little mix-up this morning regarding the breakfast, my husband went to talk to the manager of the ship and they ended up giving us credit to eat at one of the restaurants. So that was nice. So we went to the same restaurant that we were going to eat breakfast at, and basically they paid for everything. So my husband was pretty happy about that. They had a nice little like salad buffet bar, and then you could choose stuff from the menu. I got this like vegan taco thing. I was in the mood for tacos, but I should have known that you can't find good tacos here in Finland. It was really strange. It had like a sweet and sour sauce and the tortilla. I don't know what they did to the tortilla, but you couldn't even cut it with a knife. So it was strange. One thing to note about these ships is you shouldn't drink the water that comes out of the tap, because in Finland, you can drink the tap water, generally speaking, while you're in apartments and homes and stuff like that. But when you're on the ship, I would not drink the water here. I saw somewhere that mentioned that they have a pool with sauna here. But it turns out it was at the very bottom of the ship, and so you would get no views of the sea. And I spoke to the front desk person, and he said that it's not really a spa. It's just like a men's sauna, a women's sauna, and a small swimming pool. And he said it was 12 euros per person. So we decided to skip that, even though I packed everybody's swimsuits. The Viking Grace spa was a lot nicer. So we're skipping the spa this time. Took up a little bit more luggage space with our swimsuits and stuff, but now we know. I asked if it was a good place for kids, and the guy was like, yeah, it's a good place for kids, but I'm like, in a basement? The basement of a ship, how good can it be? So I don't know. It was pretty fun to sleep here as a family of 4. It reminded me of like sleeping in a dorm room, and my husband said that it reminded him of like a prison cell. So this space is definitely very tight, but we really haven't been inside since we left this cabin in the morning. So I don't think you really need a nice cabin unless you're like celebrating an anniversary or something. With small kids, this room was perfectly fine for us. There are usually buffets on board these ships, but we didn't book our tickets in time, so we skipped on that. My husband just texted me saying my daughter took off her socks in a ball pit and lost them. So that's fun. Oh my gosh, I am so tired. Through the comment section of my last ferry video, I learned that these ferries act like a bridge between land. So there are a lot of truck drivers as well as people that work in the courier industry that transport things. They often have to take these ferries to drive their trucks from one place to the next. So that's why this ferry runs daily on the same route. There are other ferries that also go from Helsinki to Stockholm and back, of course stopping in Mariehamn. The reason why they stop in Mariehamn, because Mariehamn is an autonomous region, so that technically you're out of Finnish waters for a little bit, and that's how you can have duty-free shops on these ferries. So it makes those same stops. And then I think there's also ferries that go to Estonia as well. But we passed by, I think, 2 different ferries last night and this morning. I think one was Ferry, I think, and then the other one was, I don't remember, but they basically go on the same route, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So since this was my second time on a ferry, I had a better idea of what to expect. Last time I overdressed. This time actually I think I still overdressed. In my last ferry video, somebody was like, why are you wearing a jacket all the time? I don't know, because I thought that I might be going out onto the deck to sit. If you haven't watched any of my other videos about life in Finland, tipping in Finland is not really a thing. So when the lady came to our cabin last night to bring those bed guards, we didn't have to tip her. Tipping in that way is not really expected here in Finland. When you check in for your trip, you will get your key card through the kiosk or at the help desk if you're buying your tickets or getting them there. And if you purchase food ahead of time, it will be printed on your key card. And then when you go to the restaurant, they scan the little code that's on your key card so that you can get in. There's also a dial here, and you can adjust the temperature in the room. Let's see what the TV looks like. We actually haven't turned it on. Oh my goodness, that's very loud. Low disk space. You're running out of space on this PC usage. Storage. All right, well. Oh, and I just found this note. The good thing about these ferries is that there are always 3 languages. So you have Finnish, Swedish, and English. So here, I just saw this, so it's saying that we might start to clean your room earlier. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now that I'm all packed, let's go out and take a look around before we de-ship. Before we get off the ship. It looks like they also have cribs available if you need it. Oh, so they give you cups, toilet paper, and towels, and no shampoos and body wash and conditioners and stuff like that, so you have to do that yourself. Super long corridors. We're staying on deck 5, and there are elevators that takes you to all the decks, or you can take the stairs. So let's have a look at the map here. We'll start out at the bottom. Deck 2, that's the sauna. Okay, so we are on deck 5 now. Look, these are the stairs for the normal stairs, and then once you go below deck 5, this has not been renovated, so I guess the crew stays down here? I don't know, but I want to show you what the sauna looks like. I don't think they're open right now. We're on stairs. This is where the squirrels are stored. The guy yesterday at the front desk said that there's only one elevator that takes you down to the sauna, and I can't seem to find it now. Okay, I found the sauna elevator. 2, let's go. All right. This elevator doesn't even go to 3. Sauna. And they're only open during these hours, which I am assuming is finish time. There's also tobacco sales during that time. Okay, so this is what I mean. When you come out, crew only on that side. So through this door is a sauna. It smells nice. But we're at the very bottom of the ship. And then deck 3 is all parking. It's all for cars. You can transport elephants and cars and rhinos and camels and moose. So deck 4, you can also transport butterflies and squirrels. So basically 3 and 4 are for cars. Deck 5, you have a conference room here, and then this is Silja Land. It's for kids. It's a playground. And since they had the Hevisaurus concert here, they also turned this conference area into different play sections. So there was a bouncy castle here, and like foosball tables, and a room full of iPads for Minecraft. Okay, and then all these are cabins. Deck 6, we have a bar here. This is a restaurant. Some restrooms, I think, the lift, information desk, perfumes and cosmetics, gifts and kids, tax-free shop, and then a nightclub and a casino on this side. Deck 7, nightclub, game room, sea pub, fashion street. This is just like, they're just selling clothes and stuff. Piano bar, this is a nice area. Happy Lobster, restaurant. Oh, this is where we had lunch. And then the grand buffet, which we didn't go to. This is the grand buffet. So they have both lunch and dinner for the buffet, except that the dinner is when you first arrive on the ship. So if we wanted to have dinner here, it would have been last night. So they have lunch buffet for the people that stayed on overnight, and then dinner buffet for the people that are just getting on. And then decks 8 and 9 are basically all cabins. And the suites are like at the front and the back of the ship here. And then deck 10, I think there's a sun deck here. There's a club disco. Wow. Oh, it looks like this is the no smoking side. Oh, it's nice that they have that. You can definitely smell the lingering smoke on the other side.
Oh, you like to go on a holiday, holiday.